Hey everybody, Aaron here. Welcome back to another anime review. Today, we're going to be reviewing Psycho Pass the movie. Now, a little bit backstory. So if you don't know, from my constant, tweets and all that, because I think I put out maybe 3 or 4 tweets yesterday. By the way, I hate seeing tweets, so I'm not going to really say that too often, but if you follow my Twitter, you actually do know that I went to see Psycho Pass the movie with my friend in the city yesterday. So we went to Bowtie Cinemas in New York. It's a really nice theater, actually. I really had a good time there. And there's the poster right there of Psycho Pass the movie that we saw outside, not the theater itself, but outside the actual, um, I guess theater number. It was like we had number 6, I believe, theater number 6. So yeah, that was the poster outside. I actually like that poster a lot. I wish I could get like a wall scroll. They probably do have a wall scroll. That if I find that as a wall scroll, I'm buying it. But anyways, you're not here to know about that. You're here to hear about Psycho Pass the movie, right? Right. All right. So, Psycho Pass the movie is actually pretty interesting, and I'll tell you guys right now. Do not worry if you haven't seen Psycho Pass the movie, Psycho Pass 2. Excuse me. If you have not seen Psycho Pass 2, you're not really missing a lot per se in terms of little meanings here and there or references. You will miss a little bit of characters and who certain people are, but besides that, it won't be such a huge effect on you that you're like, oh, I'm completely lost, because essentially this is going to be focusing on Akane and Kogami a lot more than Psycho Pass 2 did, and more so toward very reminiscent of the first one, but with characters now that they have changed over the course of several years, because Psycho Pass the movie actually takes place 4 years after the events of the first actual series and the second one. Now, what's funny about Psycho Pass the movie is that, like I said before, you really, I want to say there's not a lot of connections to the second actual series. There really is not. But you do need some knowledge of what happened. So I'm not going to spoil it for you. I'm not going to do that just in case you want to go watch the series first and then go to watch the movie. But just know that it does take place slightly after that. Now, Akane is actually now involved with going to Southeast Asia Union, which is actually this whole different city, which is really cool, that they're trying to activate the Sybil system over there. And she wants to make sure that everything's working out correctly because, lo and behold, in the very beginning of this movie, she's actually attacked with their Sector 1 group by a bunch of assailants from that area and that region. So they're now coming overseas and going to Japan and apparently trying to attack the Sybil system for whatever reason. But they were stopped pretty quickly at the beginning of the show, so it's kind of ironic. But what Akane does essentially is she decides, I'm gonna go figure out what's going on in Southeast Asia Union City, and she wants to see with herself how the Sybil system is gonna work over there. Because, as you guys know, Akane has mixed feelings about Sybil. She likes it to a point, but you can tell a lot more of this movie how her feelings are starting to kind of go towards not really caring for it, but knowing that she has to work within the boundaries that Sybil has made for her. Now, for the most of the story, you're not going to be introduced too much to Sector 1 anymore for a little bit. I mean, they're going to be in the very beginning of the movie, but after that, essentially, they're only going to show up again toward the end of the movie. I'm not spoiling anything by saying that, but they are not the primary focus. Again, like I said earlier, Akane and Kogami are the main primary focus, where she actually sees Kogami's picture shown from one of the memories of one of the actual assailants that attacked Japan. And she, of course, now really desperately wants to see why Kogami is involved in this kind of militia group, and she wants to know what's going on. Now, of course, in typical movie fashion, when she gets down there, everything looks kind of clean. Everything looks like it's working out for the Sybil system, despite the warring city being so messed up outside the actual new place that they're trying to set up to have Sybil run and work and function there. Kogami gets involved and apparently is actually working with the militia to stop the Sybil system from being placed in this actual country. Now, why that's happening, why is Akane even here really, what she really seeks from Kogami, knowing that he's on the lam, is she really trying to arrest him or she's just trying to get closure? That is up to you to actually watch. I'm not going to spoil that for you. But let's talk about what made this movie so cool. Now, story-wise, I actually liked it because I felt it was cool to see characters outside of their typical boundary. We're always introduced with Psycho Pass the characters being in Japan and being in what essentially is the Sybil system working at 100%. Is there issues with it? Of course, but this is the system that's in play, and this is the system that you'll see throughout the series. seeing it in Southeast Asia is actually pretty cool because now you get to see a whole different side of it. You know, what do the places outside of Japan look like? You know, apparently from a few references here and there's a lot of chaos going around with the world. And it's interesting. I think it was really cool that they decided to actually pull this stunt and show a different area rather than just stay in Japan constantly. Now, as far as the plot line goes for it, though, it hits or misses a lot of points with kind of weak moments here and there of the story. You know, it's I don't want to spoil too much of it, so I'm trying to I'm treating with trepidation when I'm kind of like trying to figure out exactly how to word this to you. But a lot of the story elements could have been stronger in the movie. It's not that they were per se weak at times, but they weren't up to par with what the series I think has in power. And I think they really could have focused on some of the characters, especially Sector 1, a little bit more. I mean, I think I would have enjoyed having not just Akane and Kogami running around, but those are two strong characters as they were. And it's actually pretty cool to see them now, several years later, you know, being different characters. Because, I mean, Akane has grown since the first season, and so is Kogami, as you'll see very quickly. He's actually changed a lot, too, in many ways. Besides the plot, let's see what else. Animation wise, I thought this movie looked beautiful. I really thought it was really nice. There are some weak moments here and there, more so with the backgrounds. I noticed that I think Psycho-Pass always has an issue with sometimes having background characters take, I want to say a little bit, I said it in Psycho-Pass 2, but sometimes they're a little weak looking. It's not per se bad, but it's just a little bit weak. There are some odd design choices, one which was a scene where in the movie where it was so ridiculously funny. Me and my friend were cracking up, but I was laughing so hard because it just looked so out of place for this animation. It was like weird as hell, and it's roughly about maybe 30 minutes into the movie. I'm not gonna say what it is in case, but it was weird. It was a weird scene. It was a weird thing. But there are some amazing fights to be had, and I think the animation really shows off these great fight scenes, which I'll tell you right now is one of the best parts of Psycho-Pass was the fight scenes. Now, sound-wise, soundtrack-wise, the opening for Psycho-Pass the movie was, I'm going to be honest with you, terrible. I did not like it at all. The outro was a lot better, but the intro was terrible. I said, I don't know if I said it in the Psycho-Pass, the 2 review, but I hated the intro for that. This, I actually hate more than that, so, I mean, that should tell you something. That's rare for me to hate intros that much. I really did hate it. It was really hard to listen to, and it was like a minute long, but the music for most part is awesome outside of the intro, and of course the Psycho-Pass theme actual song plays toward the end of the show, which is awesome. I really enjoyed that. Overall, Psycho-Pass the movie was great. I thought it was really good. I thought it was really well done, and it was, I think, cool to see in the movie theater because I haven't really seen a anime movie. With me and my friend were talking about this. I haven't seen one since I think Pokemon. That was the last actual anime movie that I saw in theaters. So I thought that was really cool to see Psycho-Pass in the movie, and I hope Funimation continues doing stuff like this because I think it does a lot of benefit for them, especially that it lets us see it in the big screens and enjoy it so much like that. Overall, if I had to review Psycho-Pass the movie A through F, I have to give it a solid B. Again, there are some weak moments here and there, but overall, it was a fun ride. I mean, it was like watching several episodes of the series put to one. It was very reminiscent of Psycho-Pass 2 in the sense that it's one huge story, of course, because it is a movie. But I really dig what they did with the characters. I think that a lot of the scenes were good. The soundtrack was hit or miss at times. Like the intro was bad, but everything else was good. Voice acting was phenomenal as usual. I really liked the characters for this in general. For Psycho-Pass, I think it has a great dub. I will say there is a few, I forgot to mention that there is a few really corny lines. I will not spoil those lines because I think it's enjoyable to see them yourselves, especially if you watch the movie, but I'm pretty sure you can figure out which lines are really corny. But I'll tell you guys, I really had a good time. It was a good movie. If you are waiting for it to come out on Blu-ray, because I think that's the only way now you're going to be able to watch it legitimately, maybe you can watch it on Funimation. I haven't checked their website, but I'm presuming you have to actually buy the movie. Don't fret, it's worth the money. I think it's going to be worth definitely because I'm going to buy it even though I saw it recently. I'm going to buy it again because it was awesome. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this review. Please like, comment, subscribe. It helps me out a lot. And as always, until I pass across again in the next review, have a good one, everyone. Bye-bye.